to advise any students coming out of college who are going to go into a classroom, I would first say thank you, and then just offer them this guidance to always trust that the process, even when it doesn't look like it's going to work, the process will work. You just have to engage in what it is you are committing to do. And don't be afraid to reach out for the support that you need, because I think that so many of our young educators fall by the wayside because they don't get the support that they need or that they want or that they feel they deserve, and they do. They don't know what to ask for, and they don't know how to ask for certain things because this is brand spanking new for them. So I would encourage that new college graduate to find a school that you are just the right fit for. Build relationships with your team, with your administrators, and rely on those people to help you get through those pivotal points that can become discouraging because you are kind of unsure of what the next thing needs to be. But just to hang in there and trust that the process works if you really engage in and with that process.
And just to add to what Dr. Taylor said, I definitely commend any new teacher for following your passion and coming into a wonderful profession. And we welcome all educators. The advice that I would give, or the guidance, would definitely be to make sure that you're not afraid to speak up, and make sure that you're not afraid for your voice to be heard. A lot of times it's really easy to sit in meetings or sit with veteran teachers or educators and feel like they've been doing this forever. They have all of the answers. And a lot of times we do have a lot of the answers, but what we don't have are that fresh set of eyes or that new innovation. And a lot of new teachers have so many new things to offer that we're not even familiar with, but sometimes they are afraid to speak up because they feel like, oh, well, I haven't been doing this long enough, or they don't feel validated. So don't be afraid to speak up. Share your ideas. We need them. We have been doing things for a very long time in education, and we know a lot of the nuances, but your ideas may be something that could solve new problems that we're experiencing, or even old problems. So your voice is just as valuable as anyone else's that's been there for a long time. Don't be afraid to share your thoughts and ideas.
I think that's so powerful because you can bring that new energy that might be just what the school needs to get to that next level.
Happy Saturday, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Tammy.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, Shika.
As you all can see, we are together. So we are on location. We are super excited this morning to be at the Black Educators Rock Conference all the way in Jacksonville, Florida. And we're super excited about presenting today. Our session today is on revolutionizing school leadership. So we will be talking to our educators about how we're revolutionizing school leadership the real way. And we are very excited about that session.
And we're excited to learn about our identifications.
Yes.
We had to take an assessment, and I tested spicy flavor and mild flavor. So I can't wait to hear what this is all about.
And mine is tangy and mild. So this is very interesting. I can't wait to hear Dr. Chester's explanation for this data she's collected on us, as well as what the meaning behind it is. But we are excited. We've already ran into several people that we're excited to learn from them as well.
Definitely.
Here in the lobby. And
Coach Carlos is here.
Yes,
we've seen him.
We did.
Principal Presley,
Mhm.
and of course, Principal Kafele. We've run into this morning. Dr. Roz, we know,
Yes, it's
and
here.
Principal Hurt. So
And Miss
we're
Donna, she's here as
okay.
well.
Donna's here. So
Yep.
we're looking forward to seeing everybody and just being a part of this 8th annual Black Educators Rock experience.
Exactly. And if you don't get to make it this year, we will definitely be putting that information out for you all to get that information for the next coming year.
Sure.
So last Saturday, we talked about leadership retreats. This Saturday, we are talking about the planning of our teacher retreats or our back to school teacher retreats, welcoming teachers back and our staff members. A lot of times, sometimes we get creative with those types of things, but what we want to see happening and what we're even talking about today is that we've got to tap into the interest of the people that we are serving in the workforce, and that includes our staff members. So you really have to delve into your staff, looking at what generations are represented on your staff, what their interests may be, but also get out of that mundane routine of doing the same things that we've done for years. And I'm guilty too. I'm talking to myself as well, over and over again as leaders, where we start off the year with our handbook presentations and we have 95 PowerPoint slides that nobody wants to hear. And then we, start to see on social media those memes of, I think it's Viola Davis, where she's picking up her purse and rolling her eyes and she's ready to go, because that's how a lot of people feel in those sessions.
On the first day of school.
Yes. So you want to make it, invigorating. Like we talked about last Saturday, even with your leadership teams, build up some anticipation about everyone coming back. You may even want to do some surveys with your staff members.
And one of the things that we're going to be sharing today is utilize other platforms to get that information out, because you have to go over the checklist that your district provides, and you have to cover those expectations that are in a handbook. But you can do that in various ways. You can upload that information into Schoology or whatever learning management system you use for your school, or you could use Kajabi and let them view the handbook on demand and set a date that this has to be completed, so that you can make sure that it's been done and they can sign off on it. Or you could turn it into something that is interesting and fun to do, like a scavenger hunt, or we're going to be doing a goose chase today. So you could turn it into something that isn't so overwhelming and so mundane, because when you use those other platforms, it also gives them time to congeal, and it can be considered a team building experience.
Exactly. And that way, when you do bring your staff members together, it could be something that they view as meaningful time, like team building activities. You want that time, especially if you're bringing on new staff members, for people to get that opportunity to know one another, to learn about one another, how they're going to be able to work together. So that time for them is important. And also that time for them to get to know you and for you to share your personality and your different nuances with your staff and your team members. All of that is very important.
And one thing that I've done for the past several years that I think is very impactful, and I know that not everyone can do this and not everyone gets to come. So it is kind of hit or miss depending on your particular context. But when I do my leadership retreat, we have typically done 2 days. And the first day may be something that I have to bring someone in for. We've done things like NWEA, or we've done things like PBIS or ACEs, trauma training, or whatever is relevant for what we need that particular school year. But the second day is me with the team and us planning and thinking through what we're going to do as a school improvement team for the year. Now, for us, these past few years have focused on coming out of school improvement. So this year is going to be a different flavor to the actual retreat, because now we're turning our focus to staying out of improvement. But at the end of that second day, my staff's invited. And so they all come in and we spend some time just doing some team building and enjoying one another and getting prepared to kick the year off on the right foot. And I think because it's in a relaxed atmosphere and it's not the pressure of us trying to do something and get together when they are worried about getting their classroom set up, or I have this meeting and that meeting and I need to prepare for meet the teacher, and all of those things that dangle over your head when you are trying to open the school year. So if you can, that's something to consider doing, because again, it takes the pressure off and allows for everybody to really enjoy the experience. Now, the drawback is not everybody can come.
Mm-hmm.
So not always do I get everybody to be a part of that experience.
But again, technology is something that could be used to get those people caught up on the happenings of that particular day.
Yes.
So the way that people in society now spend their time, a lot of it is on social media, a lot of it is through personalized experiences. So when we are onboarding our staff members, we do want that to be something that is not just the traditional mundane things that we've done in the past. And one thing that you could also do that we did at our leadership retreat is you can add a gaming aspect to that, where they're responsible for the information. You've provided it in some type of micro deck or mini chunks of information, which is a best practice in education, not just with children, but with adults too. Then when you gamify that information and create a competition within the room, it brings a different level of engagement to that same information. And so now they have another connection to what you wanted them to know anyway. And it takes about 12 times to interact with something before 6 to 12 times before it's retained. So it doesn't have to be a one and done. You can gamify for the next couple of staff meetings about different chunks of your leadership handbook or different things that you would like for them to work on. Or, again, those team building activities are always something that are beneficial activities.
And again, we're not minimizing the fact that you have things that you have to do. We know that you have to go over the safety plan. We know that you have to cover SLOs. We know you have to cover all of those things that are required for you as a leader to open the school in a safe and successful way. We're just giving you some food for thought on ways that you can engage the staff more effectively so that you can capture the attention of everyone. And as Sheikah said, today we're going to spend some time studying cross generations, because it's important as the leader to know who you are actually serving. And so to get some clues on how you can best relate to those folks, it takes some time to study. And one of the things that we've come across and we're going to be sharing today is there are industries that study their clientele. That's what they do. They check out who's checking them out, and then they respond to it by making it better. Not us so much. So we need to really make a point of taking the opportunity to learn about who's in your building and what their preferences are, so that you can incorporate that into your leadership to make this the best year yet.
Exactly. And that gaming industry is one that has really done a great job of studying the different generations and making experiences more personalized. The
Yes.
entertainment industry is another industry. So even if you're just researching how those what those industries have discovered about the different generations, that's information that will be able to help you, because they definitely have it down to the science, to the
Sure.
percentages, and also even to the spending habits,
Definitely.
because that's their profit oriented. We are in this part of it, or in this realm, for a different reason. We're looking at it from an engagement aspect, because we don't want to continue to lose our generations to um, other things that are grabbing their attention, when we know what's going to be beneficial for them and help them be successful. We want them to have that focus and that attention on things that will help propel them in the future.
And those are not just our concerns for students, but also our concerns for retaining our staff, because we have staff members now who are a part of the millennial generation, and we are experiencing their frustrations when they just say, you know what, I'm out of here because this isn't providing me with the opportunities that I thought this was going to be. So I'm just quitting.
Right.
And so they don't show up for the rest of the week.
Mhm.
And then never again do they come back, because they are so over what we've done. And you're talking about these new kids. Last Saturday, Abby invited Sheikah to follow her on some kind of social media and become one of her subscribers, because she wants to get, how many subscribers did she say?
So many. Abby and Bella is the same way.
I
That's
mean,
that
and you're
alpha
talking
generation.
about kids who are, Abby is 5 years old and Bella is an 8-year old. These kids are not thinking about the things that we were thinking about. They're thinking about getting subscribers. And so we have to respond to them in a way that allows us to understand exactly what the needs are and meet them.
Most definitely. And it's a shift. It's a shift for me as well, because I remember being a principal, and one of the teachers, I think I had went into their classrooms some time ago for something, and they were asleep up under the table. And I was thinking, who takes a nap at work? But now Google has discovered that people who, when they allow their employees to take naps, and they have these creativity centers, that rejuvenates people and makes them more productive. So it's a shift. I've not been a napper at work, but these are some of the things that we are going to have to kind of open our minds to, and be more open to what is going to work for the generations that we want to serve our students.
That's for sure. And I mean, you have to be careful with the napping, because like, you can't allow a person like me to take a nap at work. So I know not to try that kind of thing. And it just has to depend on, I guess, what works for the individual.
Right.
I'm not that kind of napper. Now, I know people who can take a 10-minute nap and be perfectly functional. That's not the kind of nap I take. So I totally get where Sheikah's coming from. You have to frame your thinking differently so that you are cognizant of the needs of the folks that you are serving.
Most definitely. I'm not sure if Principal Hurt is going to be on today, if he's going to pre-record, but if he's not, I'm sure he'll be on maybe Sunday like he was last week. I know for a fact that Principal Kafele will be on, because he does not miss, which is why we are pre-recording. He has taught us not to miss. So he will be on right after us. We have pre-recorded today, because actually during our 10:30 segment today, we will be presenting. So make it a great Saturday. We will see you all next Saturday at 10:30. Don't forget to tune in to Josh and Dean on Unlock the Middle on tomorrow at 7:30. And also tune in to yours truly. I'll be on with Higher Definition Radio talking about branding your brand. So we look forward to seeing you all next Saturday. At Create and Educate, we create spaces that thrive. So continue to thrive on this Saturday. Thank
Yes,
you.
Happy Saturday, guys.